As we often ask ourselves on this channel why, when so many Native American sites exist in northeastern Ohio, is there a consistent gap in historical accounts of pre-Columbian cultures in textbooks and museums? Why are so many sites seized by the U.S. federal government under the auspices of preservation only to be left vacant, unmaintained and oftentimes becoming illegal dumping grounds? We've visited site after site only to find that they've been polluted and neglected. It's undeniable that the Cleveland, Akron area has a troubled history with pollution and toxic waste.
The question is always, why? Why would there be a cover-up? Aren't archaeologists curious? We can't say that we have any definite answers, but let me propose a few theories. To keep this video brief, let's assume land that has been seized by the federal government to become part of the national parks is safe from exploitation of energy companies and commercial development. The obvious conflict of interests between academia and the massive corporations that fund them we can save for another time. If you've read any archaeological reports, you'll see that trained archaeologists are extremely detail-oriented. They document literally anything they find, not just ancient artifacts but everything, including trash or modern debris. In an area with a substantial history of industrial pollution, as well as corruption among those in the highest levels of local government, this might pose a significant problem for some people. Using LiDAR from the Ohio Geographically Referenced Information Program to identify remote sites that may be of interest and then hiking to them, we came across something quite disturbing. Up a tributary called Sulphur Springs we found something besides the usual industrial rubbish common in the Cleveland metroparks, like scrap metal, culverts, concrete slabs, and discarded equipment. We found what appeared to be a deep red substance oozing from the ground and evidence that someone was actively maintaining the area. The bank was held in place by erosion netting and there were recently planted and staked trees. Being familiar with naturally occurring iron oxidizing bacteria, we felt something was different here. Upon looking up land records for this particular piece of property we found that the last private owner of said piece of land was also the owner of a toxic waste disposal company. A company which, as recently as 2019, settled with the EPA for violating the Clean Air Act, the Resource Conservation and Recovery Act, and the Clean Water Act. This piece of land was later donated to the Western Reserve Land Conservancy, and then transferred to the Cleveland Metroparks during the time when disgraced former Cuyahoga County Auditor, Frank Russo was still in office. Frank Russo having been found guilty, alongside former Cuyahoga County Commissioner Jimmy Dimora, of taking more than $1 million in bribes, gifts and trips in exchange for jobs and contracts for business friends and associates. Perhaps this is all just a coincidence, but Frank Russo's brother, Anthony Russo, benefited from his brother Frank's crimes. Anthony Russo is also now the commissioner of the Cleveland Metroparks. According to an article in the Plain Dealer, Cuyahoga County Auditor Frank Russo is accused of helping an employee get a second job in exchange for the worker hosting a campaign fundraiser for the auditor's brother, Judge Anthony Russo, who now oversees the Cleveland Metroparks system. Anthony Russo went on to win his bid to become presiding judge of the Cuyahoga County Probate Court, an especially powerful position responsible for the appointment of the 3 Metroparks commissioners. Let me be perfectly clear, we do not know for certain that what we found is a toxic waste dump site. This may all just be a coincidence, however it would explain why authorities are so hesitant to archaeologically investigate a site or sites. If anything illegal was found, it wouldn't be difficult to trace it back to the source.